I have to be honest with you, junior development jobs may be dead. However, in this video, I'm going to show you some tips that I personally followed to break into the industry back when I was a junior developer. And I think these principles still apply. But first, we got to be honest about the landscape we're in right now. Listen to what Theo had to say on this subject.
So, when I was getting into software dev, the industry was in an interesting spot. The amount of devs it took to solve a problem was relatively high. The amount of devs available was relatively low. So if we have these multiple functions, let's say we have the first axis here is number of devs per feature. So how many devs and how much time does it take to build something? Second, we have number of devs available for hire. And three, we have money available to hire them. These three axes have been going all over the place lately. For a long time, these trended in ways that benefited us as devs. I would argue now, for the first time, they're not. The number of devs needed per feature has slowly went down. There are moments where it goes down faster, but for the most part, it's been slowly going down. The number of devs available to hire has been much more quickly going up, and the amount of money available to hire these people, I hope I'm making my point here.
I recently made a video where I showed some studies that prove that AI is actually slowing down senior level developers by up to 19%. The reason is whenever AI is working on complicated tasks, it actually injects a lot of bugs into the code. It's not very good at complicated tasks. And senior level developers that use AI end up having to spend more time debugging AI generated code than it would have taken for them to just write the code from the beginning. However, studies also show that this is not true for junior level tasks. AI is actually very good at junior level tasks. In other words, tasks that normally would have gone to a human junior developer can actually be given to an AI agent now for the first time. So it's legitimately possible for a senior level developer to be tasked with maybe 5 junior level developer tasks. So tasks that normally would have been finished by like 5 junior developers can now all be assigned to maybe like 1 senior developer that's using an AI agent, telling the AI agent to build all these junior level tasks, features, and then just go back over the code, review it, make sure there's no bugs in the code. This is the world we currently live in. It's just reality. And what that practically means is junior development may actually be dead. It's harder than ever to get a job if you're a junior developer. And so the big takeaway from this is that you have to be a senior developer in order to get a job in today's landscape. You might be asking yourself, how could I do that? If I'm just learning how to code, how could I become a senior level developer before I ever even get a job? The best way I know how to do this is to start your own companies and make yourself the senior level developer at your company. This is actually the strategy I followed before AI to get a job. The truth is, before the pandemic, it was still hard to get a job as a junior developer. It's probably harder now, but it may not actually be much harder than it was before COVID. Look at what Sean Bullock on LinkedIn pointed out on this topic recently. He said, are millions of jobs being quote unquote lost to AI, or are we just going back to pre-pandemic levels with a slight uptick recently? And then he shared this chart here. This is a study showing software development job postings on LinkedIn in the United States. You'll notice right before the pandemic, there were around 66 to 6,700 job postings for software developers before the pandemic. During the pandemic, that shot up to over 23,000 job postings. The reason was the government was shutting down all companies that did business in person. And so all of these in-person based businesses panicked and had to hire software developers to go digital or just go out of business. And so there was a lot of people being hired. I remember during this time, it was very easy to get a job as a developer. The few times I applied, I was literally able to get job offers within 2 weeks. However, look at where they are today in June and July. It almost exactly matches where we were before the pandemic. So before the pandemic, there were 6,700 job postings on Indeed. Well, today there's about 63 to 6,400 job postings. So it's really about the same. We've just gotten so used to having all these jobs available during the pandemic. We're not used to what it was like before the pandemic 5 years ago. To get a job today, you have to start thinking like you did before the pandemic. People aren't just going to be begging for developers anymore. You have to have some experience on your resume. Here's my LinkedIn. I want to show you my resume before I became a full-time developer to show you what I'm talking about. And a side note here is if you don't have a LinkedIn, you need to go ahead and get one. Make sure it looks good and start connecting with at least 500 people so that you look active on LinkedIn and start posting regularly, at least once a week, talking about the new coding related things you're learning, because recruiters and hiring managers will be looking for your LinkedIn page and activity. And now let's go to the experience section. The first thing I put on my resume was a company I actually started called Laptop for Writers. Back in 2017, I did not actually know how to code, but I did like writing books at that time. I was trying to be a self-published author, and I thought up an idea for book writers specifically. I noticed a lot of book writers said that they just get so distracted and they aren't really able to finish writing anything. I created a laptop where literally all I did was I put parental controls on the laptop. I made it to where if you log in, it's impossible to search the internet except for Wikipedia, which could be used for information for your book. And then you could use your book writing program called Scrivener, and that was it. I sold that for $499 per laptop. The way I got sales is I put up a website for Laptop for Writers, and it was just like a WordPress type website. At that point, there was something called selz.com, selz.com. It doesn't exist anymore, but back then it did. I just threw something together, and I was actually surprised. For 2 years, I got like 2 to 4 sales a month ongoing. It wasn't a lot of money for me, but I mean, I was able to make an extra $100 to $300 a month profit for myself. And I got so much valuable experience starting this company. I did create a website. I was in charge of the design of the website. That's why I mainly said I was a senior UX UI developer for this role, because I wasn't really doing much coding, but I was designing a website, making sure it looks really good, getting user feedback. I would talk to customers all the time and try to improve the website based on user feedback. And so this is real experience that companies value. I was able to have 2 years and 4 months of experience before I ever even tried to be a developer. The next thing on my resume, I put senior full stack developer for a company I started called PageCal. This was a cloud-based book writing service that I built from scratch, and I used these technologies. This business did not make any money. However, it did again give me experience, real experience. This was a complicated application that I built. I really was the senior full stack developer for this. I was able to list the technologies I used to build it, which are in high demand. And this is actually what I built right after I learned how to code. I learned how to code back in 2019. I went to a coding boot camp. And so already from just the businesses I started, I had 2 years, 4 months of experience as a senior UX UI developer, and I had 6 months of experience as a senior full stack developer. Once I had some experience under my belt, the next thing on my resume, I actually got my first real work as a developer, as a contract full stack developer. The way I got this job was I literally just started going in person to digital development agencies. One of those agencies was called webaholics.co. I just stopped in their office one day and said, "Hey, I'm looking for a job. I'm a web developer. I'll do anything, even some contract work. Do you have anything you can give to me?" And I remember he actually gave me some work and paid me $25 an hour. And so at this point, I'm up to 3 years of experience. And once I had 3 years of real experience, at that point, I was able to get a full-time salaried position. That was my first salaried position as a developer. My point in showing you all of this is that even before AI, notice it took about 3 years before I was able to get my first job. And that was 3 years of me actively working. I didn't just apply to hundreds of jobs hoping I'd get a job with nothing on my resume. Instead, I immediately started building companies myself so that I start getting some experience. And another great way, like I did with that Webaholics contract work, a lot of people will work for free as interns. Back when I was looking for a job before AI and before the pandemic, I noticed a lot of jobs, even junior developer jobs, required you to have at least 3 years of experience. I found that that kind of was a minimum for a lot of jobs out there. Some were okay with you having as little as 1 year of experience, but even back then, most wanted you to have 3 years of experience. And so that was true before AI and before the pandemic, and it's true today. If you want to get into this industry, unless you go to some Ivy League school like Stanford or Harvard, if you're a normal person, you're probably going to have to do stuff like this in order to break into the industry. However, if you do put forth the effort, being a developer is still a great career path to take. If you're willing to put in the work, after you break into the industry, it really is possible to make 6 figures as a developer with 5 to 10 years of experience. If you're just trying to get into the industry, hopefully I didn't depress you. I really want you to know there's still hope here. We're not really in too much of uncharted territory. There is a lot of new things you're up against now with AI being actually good at junior development tasks. However, if you just look at the numbers, it's looking like the amount of job postings out there are about the same as it was before the pandemic. And even back then, you couldn't just get a job right away. You had to figure out how to get things on your resume that would make you valuable to employers. But here is the good news. It is easier than ever to start your own company. I can't express how much easier it is today to start a company than it was even 5 years ago. It's so much easier today to start businesses, and it's not just because of AI. There's also additional services like Supabase and Vercel that make it just so easy to start a company today. 6 years ago, when I was starting to learn to code, these companies didn't exist. I don't think Supabase existed or Vercel. Vercel may have existed, but I didn't really know about it. They weren't very big at that time. So back then you had to get your own droplet from DigitalOcean or something like that, create your own server. It was more difficult to get set up with Stripe payments, their API. You had to create your own authentication. Now you can just learn Next.js, Supabase, Stripe, and use a tool like FingoChat.com as an AI chat assistant, and you really can start a business within 8 weeks. And remember, the important thing is just to get the experience. As soon as you start building your company, you can go ahead and put that on your LinkedIn resume. You can say you're the senior full stack developer, even as you're building the product. If you are interested in learning more about how to start a company, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon. I'm going to be making some more videos on this topic. In addition to those initial businesses I showed you, I have since then started some successful businesses. One business made about $100,000 in 9 months. Another business makes currently about $30,000 a year. If you'd like me to show you the tools I use and the principles I use to start businesses, make sure to like the video and comment in the comment section below to help out with the algorithms. If you are a developer in the industry, give us your advice in the comments too. Tell us what you would suggest junior developers do if they want to break into the industry today, or if you've started a SaaS business before or any kind of business before and want to give some advice, let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.